Did you make a decision about who's starting tomorrow?
In goal, yeah, we're going to give Hahnemann the start tomorrow. So, I think obviously he's come back, and, for him, I'm sure it's going to be a special moment because he gets an opportunity to play for the Sounders, which is something that he's always wanted to do, as a guy who grew up here and played his college ball here and so forth and got big with the old USL Sounders and so forth. So I think it's going to be a special occasion for Marcus. It'd be great for our fans to be able to come and see that, and see the opportunity for him because it'll be a unique day. I'm sure he'll be he's calm right now, but I'm sure he'll be a little bit emotional probably before the game.
Have you seen him progress while he's been here?
Yeah, definitely. I think we did the right thing in his training regimen where we worked and plateaued, worked and plateaued. He feels pretty good. You see his sharpness come back, which is very good. I mean, his experience, his organizational abilities are very good when you put him into a scrimmage and so forth. He's coming up with big saves. All of those things are all positives.
It's obviously a decision that you haven't, I would assume you haven't made yet, or he hasn't made. But could you see him potentially coming back next year and being a part of this team in some capacity?
Sure, I think that's something we sit down at the end of the year and talk about and discuss. But for sure, if Marcus, has an interest, he knows what the situation is right now. Obviously, we're very happy with Michael Kashpernik, and Michael's proven himself to be our number one and is very solid. And but certainly, if you can have a guy like Marcus with his experience, what he provides for you on the soccer field, but also what he provides for you in the locker room, and our goal is always to play in a lot of games. So there's going to be opportunities to play there as well. So it would be great if he wanted to do it, but I think at his age, Marcus sort of deserves to step away from the stage too when he wants to. And right now he wanted to come back for this opportunity, but maybe one more year fits in.
I think Salt Lake has to win their game to advance. I mean, you kind of enjoying the luxury of not having to get a result in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, and we're going to look at the results tonight, so we'll get an idea of how many points the group winner has out of Salt Lake's group, how many points the group winner will have out of Houston's group. So that'll give us, Monterey's group as well. So that'll give us an idea a little bit of what the point totals are, and, that's the thing that we're looking at more so than anything. But it's nice to be able to know that we can play a little bit of a mixed lineup tomorrow, and obviously we still want to come out with a result. We want to get on top early and, take their enthusiasm for the game away early.
Does last year's experience weigh at all in how you guys go into this game? If you had won that last game against Monterey, you guys would have had a very different outlook in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, would have had a different draw for sure. Obviously this is a different opponent, and Monterey was a team that was also moving on, so it was a different scenario last year. So but obviously we want to put ourselves into the best position possible going in the quarterfinal round, and so getting the most points. But the way it's shaped up this year, you still have a couple of Mexican teams, like Chivas and I think Tigres, that can get through as group winners with a low point total. So maybe if you end up with a high point total, you end up with them at the other end. So it's a 1 through 8 seeding. So we're going to take a pretty sharp pencil to it and see what makes sense.
How do you balance the aggressiveness on defense with not giving up the penalty kicks, which have become fast and furious in the CCL play?
Yeah, obviously we've been the penalty kick givers in the CONCACAF series, but we want to make sure we still play good defense and we're still tight as to what we do. But I think a couple of calls were maybe a little bit harsh, but a couple of them were deserved PKs. So we gotta make sure we don't give away PKs. It's as simple as that. Last time we gave them 2 in the game down there, and we just have to make sure we have honest defending, that we run with people, that we cut the play earlier up on the field, that we don't wait until it's in our 18-yard box before we're trying to make the decisive defensive play. And so for us, we got to do that in the earlier parts of the field.
You mentioned Michael as a possible goalkeeper of the year candidate. Do you think there's other guys on the team that could be best 11 quality?
Yeah, I think there's guys that deserve that. I think Michael is definitely somebody that's got to be considered. I know he missed a part of the season for injury, but it's like, okay, so if every player who misses games for injury is immediately eliminated from consideration for postseason awards, then you'd have to eliminate a lot of guys, so then they should say this is the goalkeeper of the year who played the most games. Okay, so so it's the same thing, and so we have other guys I think that have had good seasons. Obviously, Eddie Johnson and Freddie Montero have had good seasons up front as a combination. There's a lot of competition because obviously Wondolowski's had a fantastic year with goals, and other people have scored goals this year as well. Henri, Cooper, people like that. So that's a very competitive situation. Alonso is somebody who I think is one of the best midfielders in this league. Definitely deserves some consideration as well. I mean, there's Rosales, there's Evans, there's Tifford. I end up going through the whole lineup, at the end of the day, because I think, for us, we want to be successful as a team. That's the most important thing. As the team has success, then individuals' abilities show through a little bit cleaner and clearer, and and then you get a little bit more and rewards. When you're not having that team success, then people sort of look past your individual players as well.
On the same kind of award angle, is Eddie maybe a possible comeback player of the year?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm always a little uncertain how that award's defined. It used to be in the first years of the award, it was really coming back from an injury. And then it meant just coming back from a bad season. Then it meant just coming back, not being here and you came back. But certainly, Eddie didn't come back from an injury, but he certainly has come off of, a season that wasn't so good for him the year before. He certainly come back into the league and made a big splash. So comeback player of the year is definitely something that he should be considered strongly for.
How's Ozzy's year gone relative to his previous years? I mean, how would you evaluate it?
It's good. I think he's, every year he becomes a little steadier, a little smarter, in terms of what he does, but he still has that tenacious character, that ability to win balls back, that ability to recover balls and intercept passes in the middle of midfield. He's added more offense to his game. Sometimes now he's trying almost too much a little bit. Got caught against Dallas a couple of times spinning and turning in midfield. But, that's just he's very confident, and that's a good thing. And so I think he's added to his game every year. He's added to his game in terms of his decision-making. Every year he's added to his game in terms of his passing ability, and he's added to his game every year in terms of his range of passing.
You feel like you had a chance to clear the air with Mario?
Yeah. No, we had a good conversation. I know he talked to you guys. He talked to you guys before he talked to me. But it's it's a situation of just clarity. I mean, he's been in and out so much with the national team. So he hasn't had that many days of training with us. And when the training has come with us, it's been like 4 or 5 days, and he's gone, and so forth. So it takes time to establish. But it's also because he's been gone so much. Probably the communication from me wasn't as good as it could have been, and so sometimes again with the language barrier, sometimes I just grab somebody, and I can talk to him for a few minutes. But with Mario, I got to grab him and somebody else so I can talk to him for a few minutes so we understand each other. But we had a good conversation yesterday. I think he understands. He knows exactly what our feelings are about him as a player and how we cherish him as a player, because we think he's a player with great abilities, and his future is not only this year for this team, but his future is next year as well.
It's been a long year for Baba. Is he any kind of consideration for tomorrow? Or is it still too early for him?
No, it's still too early for him coming off his ACL. I mean, he's going and he's training now, and he's trying to get his touch back and round himself fully into shape. But there's no need to push him out there right now. It would be a mistake.
Me preguntaron si podría hacer un anuncio y pensé que era porque yo juego para los Seattle Sounders. No puedo, porque mi inglés no es muy bueno. That's true. Entonces me dijeron que el anuncio era de padres, niños y familias. Eso es muy importante para mí y le dije que yo hago lo que puedo hacer. No importa cuál idioma tú hablas, hay un idioma universal que nuestros niños comprenden y necesitan. Y es el amor y el cariño de los padres. Be a good parent and stay involved in your child's life.